Okay, guys, we have here today, let me lock it up here. This is the Maverick Mace. So, Maverick Mace, if you watched our Kensui Mace video, this has a lot of similarities to it, but it is, in my opinion, a better pick. It is, we'll start off with what it's made out of. It is bamboo, which is what is traditionally what the Gatas were made of, is bamboo. So this creates a cool little thing. When it gets heavy, I'd say anywhere over about 40 pounds in this order position, in the start position, you'll actually feel it jiggling as the bamboo shifts a little bit. The other nice thing about bamboo compared to wood, and some of the complaints people had about the Kensui, is that it would crack or things like that. Bamboo by nature is flexible because it's hollow. So it will bend and it can handle a lot of weight. I have had this bad boy up to 75 pounds for some swings and it held up. And empty, it is only like 6 or it's like 5 3/4 pounds empty. It's like right about 6 pounds empty. It comes with this clip that we'll talk about in a little bit. It comes with the mace, and this right here, right about 6 pounds. This is a ½ kilo, so it's 1.12 something pounds. So together, this would make it a 7-pound mace. Overall length, we got 43 inches, which is a good length for a mace. It feels good. It feels great. My complaints about the Kensui, they don't have. Very cool. Except for the clip. So as I talked about previously, if you start going heavy, it'll start bending and stuff. But this clip that it comes with will actually slide down a little bit. Part of that is probably due to the varnish on here. It's pretty smooth. Part of it is just due to weight crashing down on a collar. Again, I highly recommend getting a pair of the Rogue HG 2.0s if you're going to be swinging heavy. It was at about 45 pounds that I started noticing that happen. A couple other things to note here. It has quite a bit of loadable sleeve length. You are probably not going to need to put that many plates on there from here to here. But when you're doing things like if you're doing ballistic curls, you're doing uppercuts, we'll put in some B-roll, me doing some uppercuts here, where you need to grab that far side, that thicker handle, that almost 2 inches, can kind of be a little rough. Handle as well on this is more that 1.5 inch diameter, very similar to the Kensui. You're starting to see the similarities, right? Where it differentiates itself is a couple ways. No cracking. You can probably chip the end off like I did my Kensui, but the structural integrity of the unit itself is better. It also has some built-in knurling. I was a little worried about how the knurling would go, given that there's varnish on here, but it stuck pretty well. It takes chalk surprisingly well. You have the pommel on the back, so you're not going to be sliding off. Like I said, I've swung it over 70 pounds and had no issues with it. I've done workouts with it in the 30 to 40 pound range where I'm doing, 100, 200, 300 swings, and it's not having an issue. So very quality. Now with that quality, compared to the Kensui, we get a price bump too. So price on this is $109 is what it's on sale for right now. When I had it shipped to me, it was about 120 bucks to my door with shipping. So shipping, of course, not included on it, but very solid mace. Couple things to note though. So here to here is 43 inches. That feels good. That feels like a mace. But the weight for your mace is not all the way at the end, right? You start loading 5s and 10s and 2.5s on here, you're going to get considerable amount of weight creeping up. The more weights you get on it, the more it starts to feel like a bulva or a club compared to a mace. So I use 2.5s from Weighted Out is my favorite plate to use for maces because they're 3/8 inch thick. So the thinnest plate that you can get, and you can just stack those suckers up. I got 5s for them as well that I use quite a bit. But even then, you stack those up, you're still going to feel the plates loaded to about, here, and they have a picture on their website with plates loaded all the way up to here. It's going to very much feel different than a gata or like a traditional mace. Add to that, if you put that on there, your plates are starting even further down, which is how I swung it when it was 75 pounds. I didn't really think about it until everything was loaded up. I didn't feel like changing it, so I just went with it. But this is where we start to get a great position on value and like quality. Like, so Krensui, you got like really good value. Quality, it's a baseball bat. It works, it does the job, it's cheaper than a lot of the options, but this one with a almost double price point, right? So going from $60 to almost $120 to my door, that is a considerably larger investment, but it is nowhere near the investment of some of the other options out there when we're talking metal. We got the ADX, the CK, the Rogue, we got a lot of them out there. You're talking $200 to $300 or more than $300, right? So this is a great mace. It is a great value. I ordered it and I was like not expecting a whole lot. And when I started swinging it, it is actually very good mace. I definitely recommend it, especially if budget is a concern, you want to get into maces, but you don't want to blow $300. This mace will keep you rolling as long as you want it to. I haven't swung with it a ton. I only have about 3 workouts on it, so maybe longevity of it isn't as good because it's wood compared to metal. But at $120, what would 3 of them get you? How long would 3 of them last? Last thing I want to talk about these guys, Dangerously Fit, I think is the company. This is the Maverick Mace. They also have a club, and they have a Bulva that's kind of like partially between a club and a mace. I don't know the pricing on those off the top of my head. I'm only reviewing the mace. But if you're someone who thinks 43 inches is a little too long, they do have the Torque as their shorter one that might be a good option as well. I would definitely check them out. Yeah, Dangerously Fit, Maverick Mace, solid product. Check it out.